Hello YouTube, Jason here. How you going? Hey, just continuation of a video I did a while ago, which is about Sega Saturn in my collection. Just thought you'd be interested in to see what you actually pay for Sega Saturn games here in New Zealand. So this is our local trade site. Yeah, just thought you might find it interesting. So someone's selling up a Japanese unit here for 225 New Zealand dollars, which is about $112 US, or about 150 pounds. Yeah, so just thought you might find that interesting. And then we've got here particular game, $39.90. Not a very good game, but yep. And here's a Japanese title, which I think is one of those manga type games. $5 New Zealand, but again, you got to have some sort of understanding of Japanese to make it worth your while. Here's a game here, Mysteria, Realms of Lore. They're putting it up for $99 for people to bid on, and selling potential buy now for $119. So I think it's a bit steep for what it is, but they could very well get that. Who knows? Die Hard Arcade, Sega Saturn, $90. Can't say I know the game. I know Die Hard, but I didn't know Arcade was a different version of it. Control pad here, Hori brand, $75 New Zealand. Someone selling a Sega Saturn New Zealand PAL version here, $508. I don't know. What have we got? Japanese gaming power, Sega Saturn D mechanism there. Mass destruction, Sega PAL, tidy and complete. So it looks pretty cool. I can't say I know the game, but it also looks like it's been cropped. So it's possibly a screenshot and not the original in this photo. Here's another one, $15, which is NBA action. It's a pretty fair price. No hard cover for it though. Sega Saturn Die Hard Trilogy, $50, which is 25 US or 30 pounds. Shockwave Assault, $93 New Zealand. Another set unit, again it's been very heavily cropped, so chances are this ain't the original unit. It's probably just a screenshot from online, and they've utilised that. Can't see why or how someone would edit it that heavily. Another one here. It's a pretty reasonable price. So 30 US dollars, 60 New Zealand dollars. Yeah, just a few other bits and pieces here. There's Sega Rally, 35 New Zealand dollars. That's cheap. Wing Arms, $30. Can't say I know the game, but this is a golf one that I actually have, $30. Jewel, someone's asking $120, which is probably a fair price because it's a popular game, and there's not many on the market. Sega Saturn controller, it's a bubblegum controller, so Virtual Fighters. There's a few other bits and pieces there. I wouldn't have thought Battle Stations was worth $62, but that's what they're asking. Sega Saturn Clockwork Knights, but this is only the manual, $20. Another Sega Saturn game which is Japanese. I'm not familiar. It's a Gundam, $70. RAM cartridge for $80. It's just a manual again. Virtual Fighter. Again, that's a game that we had earlier on before. $74 for that one. Brain Dead 13, never heard of it, but $34 anyway. That's just a manual again. There's a steering wheel, $92.56. Another cartridge for $60. It's pretty steep for just a cartridge, but never mind. Memory card. See, it doesn't say it's a modded cartridge. Modded, it might be worth more. Firestorm Thunderhawk 2, $57 in New Zealand. NHL 97, $30. NBA 97, $25. And again, that's one of those big plastic cases. And someone's just selling a single disc Space Hulk. Never heard of it. $20. It's up on auction for. Yeah. So here in New Zealand, as of today, which is the 5th of September, this is what's available for sale here. It's only one page, so it's not a lot of items. So it's a very limited system to collect for. And some people are asking a fair price, and others are overvaluing based on they take the American price off price charters, and then they think, oh well, that's what it goes for in power regions. But when you go to things like eBay and so forth, power region games. Actually, I'll just do that while I'm here. Just bear with me a moment. Here we go. I just put up eBay. It's quite a bit different in price. So these prices are going to be New Zealand dollars, which is what I've done my search under. So you can see there's a whole lot of Japanese titles. There's some avid collectors of them. There's no particular reason it's come up with Japanese titles first, but there's an American one. So Panzer Dragon, which is the first one. You can tell it's American by the white graphic. It looks like there's a lot being offloaded from Japan. Here's another one, Heroes. Haven't found anything yet that's mainstream for here. Combat. Oh, there we are, Virtual Cop. I wonder if I type in PAL. Right, now we've got PAL ones. So Daytona USA in a PAL version on Trade Me is $2.91, but that's not necessarily what it's going to sell for, of course. What have we got? The Hulk, $84. Some really nice copies out there. I had a copy of this, but I sold all my Sega Saturn many years ago, and then started collecting again years after. So anyway, you can see that Sega Saturn and Power Regions, a real mixed bag of nuts, basically. Can't say I've seen any of the New Zealand titles come up that we've had just recently on the last page that I showed. Oh yeah, there we are. Virtual Fighters 2, so 2281. So it's pretty cheap compared to what you can buy here for. Seems like they've got every title but one that can match. I know a lot of these things have got quite expensive now, so I'm not devaluing that. Here in New Zealand, they're worth less, but the reality is there's not many of the machines out there, so the audience for collecting is a lot slimmer in New Zealand than you would find probably the rest of the world. Even Australia should find better prices. Oh yeah, there we go. We had one of those before, 161.19. So yeah, here it was $119. So I guess it probably is a fair price at that rate. Anyway, that's it for now. So please like and please take care and please subscribe. Bye.